वो दिन कितने प्यारे थे, ये दिन भी कितने प्यारे हैं। तब बाबा साथ हमारे थे, तब बाबा साथ हमारे थे। बाबा अब भी साथ हमारे हैं।
और नवीनता क्या करेंगे? अव्यक्त वर्ष में अपना चार्ट रखा था कि कभी रखा कभी नहीं रखा, कभी कभी वाले बने या सदा वाले बने, मेजॉरिटी क्या बनी? कभी कभी वाले ज्यादा है। तो इस नए वर्ष में नया चार्ट रखना। क्या नया चार्ट रखेंगे? चार सब्जेक्ट को तो जानते ही हो अच्छी तरह से, जानते हो ना? तो इस वर्ष का यही चार्ट रखना कि चार ही सब्जेक्ट में, चाहे ज्ञान में, चाहे योग में, धारणा में, सेवा में, हर सब्जेक्ट में हर रोज कोई ना कोई नवीनता लानी। ज्ञान अर्थात समझदार बनना, समझ देना और समझदार बन चलना। ज्ञान में भी नवीनता का अर्थ है जो अपने में कमी हो उसको धारण किया तो नवीनता हुई ना, ना से हाँ हुई तो नहीं हुई ना। इसी रीति से योग के प्रयोग में हर रोज कोई ना कोई नया अनुभव करो। ऐसे नहीं योग में बहुत अच्छे बैठे, बहुत अच्छा योग लगा, कि नवीनता क्या हो? बच्चे, मैं आपके सदा साथ हूँ।
Om Shanti. Welcome to Vyakti Parivar. So today is the first day of month of December. So special welcome to our new series. The Lord is pleased with an honest heart. seated on God's heart throne. So, in this month of December, as you have seen in the promo, that yes, Didi is doing Hindi series as well as English series, and in Avakti Journey, we'll be having very special thing with Avakti children from 10th of December to 31st of December. But until then, in Avakti Journey, after Didi's session, we will have some special churning session with two angels. So, just to let you all know, after Didi, we will have a Vyakti journey, and in a Vyakti journey, there will be something new, and that will be some chit chat, but it's kind of a churning, but it's something new way of it. And two angels will be with us for that every day until 10th of December. And then we will do with Avakti children. So let's start our new series.
Om Shanti. The Lord is pleased with an honest heart, seated on God's heart throne. Clear line of the intellect. With an honest heart, say, Baba, whatever I am, however I am yours. Along with this, you also need to have a clear line of the intellect. Let there not be any disturbance in the line. Let it not be cut off. During the extra time, Bab Dada wishes to give power, blessings, and extra help. But if there is any disturbance, you will not be able to receive any of these. Therefore, let your heart be honest and clean. Do not have any rubbish of small or big matters. The Lord is pleased with an honest heart. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Avyakti Parivar. The Lord is pleased with an honest heart, seated on God's heart throne. Today is day 1. The topic is realize with an honest heart. Now let's listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti, everyone. Month of December has begun. The group which came to meet Baba is departing. We had beautiful meeting with Baba yesterday. And Baba said that we shouldn't waste our time, but keep our intellect and mind busy. So Baba also said that to keep the chart of what newness you bring to yourself by experimenting on yoga. Bring newness in each subject. So newness and knowledge is when you really take a point, sit in silence and go deeper or subtle understanding of that point. And as soon as you find it, that there is more clarity, then you feel very happy about it. Truly happy. That is why we use word insight. Insight is like, even if you think of physically, when you are able to see everything clearly, you feel happy about it. So same as with your intellect. When you are able to see or understand point of knowledge very, very clearly, it's like you found pearls, you found jewels, so you feel happy about it. And then Baba said about yoga. Let's say there is a situation and you want to resolve it by using power of yoga. Let's say someone is upset with you about something. You go in Baba's room, you give that, bring that soul in front of Baba. Two things. One is you have good wishes. Second, the transformation which should happen, and I'm expecting it will happen through power of yoga, is that soul's nature of getting upset over small matters should also change. So it's not just from my side, but it is has to be transformation on other side also. And this I am sharing because that's the method I use. Instead of pleasing someone, trying to keep calling someone, we don't do that. But rather what we do, just make the soul very, very, just bring the soul in front of Baba and then keep giving good wishes. I have seen that result immediately. So what Baba is saying, that you will experience that newness in the subject of yoga by experimenting on that. That means use power of yoga. Any obstacle which comes, because first the obstacle has to be removed internally and then it will be removed externally. Third is in dharana. If you have habit of reacting, you just decide, no, I will stay calm, I will stay in my eternal stage, not going to get upset about anything. So there will be a new kind of experience, isn't it? But if I say I am always right, this is the right way, doesn't matter, then newness will not be experienced, right? So if there is newness in knowledge, yoga and dharana, the way you will think, speak and serve through actions, there will be newness. And everyone will say, oh, whenever you say something so different, whenever you say something really new, I haven't heard it before. So newness in service. We always think about newness in service without bringing newness in all three other subjects. So if I bring newness in all the subjects, then automatically there will be newness in service. So we have to experiment on that. And of course, as when there is honesty, accepting myself as I am and offering myself the way I am, that honesty will help intellect, the line of intellect, to be very, very clear. Often we find that there is a lot of disturbance or cut off in the line of communication. It could be internet, it could be telephone line, anything. So how, which we have to experience and experiment today, that when I am honest, then line of intellect is clear. Why it is clear, it's clean, because honest person has nothing much to think about. And when line of intellect is clear, step by step, you are touched by Baba. Whether acting based on Shrimad or even doing something what you have planned, but everything is so clear that you don't need to keep your intellect very busy. It's only when we are not clear, then we keep thinking about it for the clarity. So it's very interesting that why also it is important to keep intellect clear, because Baba wants to help me. Baba wants to give power to me. Baba has some signals for me. So whatever Baba has to offer to me, it will be easy to receive. But if line of intellect has lot of disturbance, especially from God, it's very subtle the way He gives us. So if line is clear, I can understand very clearly. I mean, I have this experience whether even when I go to Baba, if there is anything in between, that means if line is not clear, one can understand, but lack of clarity again. So it is so interesting to see that clean intellect, right? And that cleanliness is based on the truth. Sometimes some people speak truth, but there is bitterness in that truth. And because of that, line can't be clear. If I am bitter about something, a lot of wasteful thoughts will come. And when there are wasteful thoughts, my line is not clear because I'm regretting. Even if I am realizing, but certainly I am guilty. And I feel, oh, I shouldn't have said this. I shouldn't have done this. So in other words, then line is not clear. So I like this aspect very much, that let us keep our mind, line of intellect clear, no disturbance, no cut off, so that I am able to receive from Baba and able to do what I am supposed to be doing. Om Shanti. Om Shanti, everyone. Om Shanti.
The Lord is pleased with an honest heart, seated on God's heart throne. Clear line of the intellect. With an honest heart, say, Baba, whatever I am, however I am yours. Along with this, you also need to have a clear line of the intellect. Let there not be any disturbance in that line. Let it not be cut off. During the extra time, Bab Dada wishes to give power, blessings, and extra help. But if there is any disturbance, you will not be able to receive any of this. Therefore, let your heart be honest and clean. Do not have any rubbish of small or big matters. Om Shanti Avakti Parivar. So it was a wonderful start and wonderful sharing by Didi. So thank you. And now let's do our Avakti journey. And our tomorrow's schedule will remain same as tomorrow will be Friday. And Friday Amrit Vela and evening session will continue. And now let's start a Vikti journey. Welcome to a Vikti journey. So this will be something very new as it's related to our topic, an honest heart. And we all know that we have to churn, right? Baba also said yesterday that keep your mind busy in churning so that there is no waste thoughts, right? So let's do some different and some new experiment. And for that, I would like to invite our two angels, Sister Shireen and Sister Wadi. Welcome, angel.
Om Shanti. Hello, Shireen.
Om Shanti Vadi Ben. Om Shanti everyone.
And Didi, perhaps she's left to do other things. We know she's busy. And hi, Bhumi, as well. Om Shanti. So, I think we have about 10 minutes, Shireen. And perhaps you came up with some questions from
Yes,
Didi.
actually I had a few. It was very interesting, some of the things Didi said. One was, if you want to have newness in service, then you have to have newness in the other three subjects.
Agreed.
And also, I loved the method she gave about newness in yoga. And I've tried this. It's not because I was having a newness. It was almost out of necessity. I tried it. A few days ago, I knew someone was upset with me, and I couldn't pinpoint why they were upset. And I couldn't really talk to them about it. So I went into Baba's room. I sat down and I invoked the soul in front of Baba. And I said, I'm sorry for whatever happened, whatever I did, and then, it just resolved it there. And I could feel the soul not being upset with me anymore.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, this thing, again, and I was appreciating that same point, that seeing where usually in those instances, there's a lot of feeling. And so when there's feeling, then wisdom is not so available. And so the best thing to do is silence, is not to try and communicate, because that just results in this is how I see it, the other person, they see it differently, and there's conflict.
There's a charge, because there's a charge with you. Absolutely. And then there's a charge with the other person.
Both egos get involved. And so while there's feelings, and so whereas one might be saying, we need to talk about this, we need to talk about this, we need to talk. No, not for me. You don't need to talk about it, not at that moment, because the charge is there. And so that's when, as Didi says, it's about being in silence and being, fine, go in front of Baba. And you just see how the things calm down, and what comes back into the relationship again, I think, is respect and consideration. And very often those things are predicated by some kind of familiarity, you know, where the other person maybe takes rights that they haven't been given, that they become too familiar, that it goes past the point of the right relationship, and there's familiarity, and then they feel they have a right to say things or whatever, which at some level, so it's not about blaming the other person, because at some level you've given them permission for that kind of familiarity as well. And now it's like the horse has bolted. Now you're trying to get it back in the stable again. And the only way to do it is with that silence.
Yes. And also, what I noticed in the silence is maybe if I spoke to the person, I wouldn't have admitted that I did something wrong.
Yes, that's right.
But in the silence, sitting in front of Baba, I knew exactly where I went wrong.
But also people come to know as well that if you've gone silent, they know that perhaps they did something wrong, and you're not using silence as a punishment. You know, it's like, I'm not going to speak to you. It's not that. But where it's true silence, then they have realization. And again, equally so, this thing, and it sustains me so much, is new points, particularly knowledge. You know, okay, dharna too, but knowledge in particular. And today my awareness just was of in offering bhog, and it was in the remembering someone who had passed away a year ago. And of course, and it was the person who had asked for the bhog to be offered was Lokik. Her mother was a Brahmin. And of course, people have that thought that once somebody's passed, as Baba says, that they've gone to heaven or they've become angels and they're now our protectors. But the realization for me today, particularly for a Brahmin soul who has left, we may be remembering them, but they're not remembering us. You know, in other words, they're jivan mukt, just in that situation of leaving the body. There's like everything becomes real, becomes its true self, and so they're free. They've gone on their journey. But it's good if we maybe if Lokiks remember their Alokik relatives, then that they can draw something from them in terms of pure vibrations, even their faith. But it's not that those souls are consciously remembering us, and we can only draw from them because their connection is with Baba. So points of knowledge and where that also goes. So it's not just knowledge as an abstract, but the essential knowledge is who am I and who is God. And so it's a clarification all the time of those. And the third thing then, the relationship between us, and then how that impacts in the wider thing is. So definitely newness and appreciation for Didi in her availability, you know, 7 days a week, 30 days a month, and on, and always, and her sharing with us not just the historical things, but what's new for her, and so that she takes us along and gives us that possibility for ourselves.
Right. One of the things, when I saw the topic, the slide of churning, I was remembering Dadi Janki, because one time Dadi was saying, if you really want to experience bliss, then you have to churn. The word she used was Vichar Sagar Manthan.
Right.
So you have to keep churning if you want to experience bliss. And I was thinking how that is really connected with honesty. And if we are not honest, that there is a possibility of some kind of, there's a lot of purity in the soul, a lot of purity in all of us, But if we are not honest, there is a possibility of some kind of mixture coming in, and it mixes with this, this purity of, the pure
With
thoughts
the
and all
cream, with the milk.
yes.
Sour.
And then this mixture doesn't allow us to really churn and experience that bliss. So I was thinking, like, really, honesty is like a foundational, not only virtue, but a foundational practice that we need to practice this all the time. Because if we want to experience our original qualities, then honesty has to be there.
I have to say, and I know we've got a whole month, and Didi will no doubt elaborate. I don't think honesty is easy.
Yeah.
It's easy to say, and it's not at that level of telling lies or telling the truth or what's fake, what's false, or whatever. But that we've been so articulate in deceiving ourselves.
Right.
In terms of who we are before Baba, and even after coming to Baba, where it's like we will assume, oh, Baba said I'm this, and so I am that. But then you discover that that may not be the whole truth. And so I think honesty is, I'm constantly discovering what honesty is. And I have to say, and then maybe we take this up later too, that I know for myself, I surrender to honesty in another person. In other words, when they're telling the truth, when it would have been so easy out of fear or seeing consequences, they may not have offered the truth. And once they've been truthful, maybe about something they did, what I surrender. There's nothing I can say. There's nothing I can add. Ideally, if you can then help, to make a power out of that honesty. And so I think in the same way, I think Baba also kind of, do you think Baba surrenders to honesty?
He does say that, no? The Lord is pleased with an honest heart.
Yeah.
So,
kind of.
And actually, Razi is like, it is like surrender. Sache Dil Par Sahib Razi is like, it's not just he's pleased. He's like, he's almost like, giving in to your things.
Yeah, to what is, yeah. So I think
one of the things that Baba said in yesterday's Murli, one last thought about this. He said that he was talking about two things, that mine is one Shiva and another, and spinning the discus of self-realization is the mantra that controls the mind. The word he used in Hindi was Vashikaran. Vashikaran, even though it's translated as discipline, it's actually
interesting.
It's control. And so I've been playing with that. How if we control the mind, honestly, we have to start somewhere. We can't say it's difficult and just give up on it. We have to start somewhere. And the starting point, I feel, is this controlling the mind. And then from controlling, then we can be very careful. And from being very careful, we can be clean. And from being clean, we can be clear.
Wow.
Today's whole thing
I think though I prefer the word discipline to control. Something that Daddy Janki had said, and I think I've heard Didi say it too, that everyone who lives with me should become like Baba when they see me, and that they should feel what Baba was like, and they should receive those vibrations. And so discipline was one of the things that she mentioned, that where there's that the feeling of being in harmony with everyone, being disciplined, etc., that then those that everybody's happy to see you in a sense. So yeah, I agree. Discipline, control seems a little, for me, the word,
Right.
it feels a little forced. I'm not very good at control.
Right.
But the disciplines that Baba gives us that help there. Yeah. So
I think that's it. Our time's up.
Yes. I'll see you tomorrow.
So, yes, let's remember Baba for a few minutes.
All right. Om Shanti, everyone.
Om Shanti, everyone.
The Lord is pleased with an honest heart, seated on God's heart throne. Clear line of the intellect. With an honest heart say, Baba, whatever I am, however I am yours. Along with this, you also need to have a clear line of the intellect. Let there not be any disturbance in the line. Let it not be cut off. During the extra time, Bap Dada wishes to give power, blessings, and extra help. But if there is any disturbance, you will not be able to receive any of these. Therefore, let your heart be honest and clean. Do not have any rubbish of small or big matters.
सच्ची दिल पर साहब राजी, परमात्म दिल तख्त नशीन, बुद्धि की लाइन क्लियर, सच्ची दिल से कहो बाबा जो हूँ जैसी हूँ आपकी हूँ। इसके साथ बुद्धि की लाइन क्लियर चाहिए। लाइन में कोई भी डिस्टरबेंस नहीं हो, कट ऑफ नहीं हो। बाप दादा जो एक्स्ट्रा समय पर शक्ति देने चाहते हैं, दुआएं देने चाहते हैं, एक्स्ट्रा मदद देने चाहते हैं, अगर डिस्टरबेंस होंगी तो वह मिल नहीं सकेंगी। इसलिए दिल सच्ची और साफ हो, कोई भी छोटी मोटी बातों का किचड़ा दिल में ना हो। ओम शांति।